Welcome to our next section on keyboard events. If you were not satisfied with the last video, hopefully this video will make you a little bit happier. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go File, Open, or actually, let's just go to Windows Explorer. So right click on your Start menu in the bottom left, click Open Windows Explorer, find your keyboard movement video assignment. So I'm going to find mine, keyboard movement 1, just copy it, click somewhere else and paste it. It should give you the same thing with just the word copy in it. And we're going to rename it. Oops, where did that go? Rename it to keyboard movement 2 and just open that up to get started. So mine says keyboard movement 2 now. Double click, you should still have the original file somewhere else. So let's get down to business and just go straight into the actions. We need to add 2 more event listeners. We need to add one for key up, which is when you let go of a key, and we need to add one for enter frame. So I'm just going to say, comment here, listen for keys up. So stage.add event listener. It'll be a keyboard event. Oops. Dot key underscore up, and we'll call that key up listener. Okay, and then we'll just add an enter frame. So we'll just say stage.add event listener, event.enter frame, and then we'll just call that enter frame listener. Okay, now we need those 2 functions. So for the keyboard, I'm just going to copy our key down at the very top of it, go down here, paste it, rename it to key up listener, and then right below this, we're going to call create our function, the enter frame listener. You can copy and paste the name from up there if you don't want to type it out again, but it's expecting an event. It'll be void and then our curly brackets. So once we have that, we're going to do things a little bit differently, but to show you how up works, we're going to make a function. We'll call it trace, or not a function, we'll just write this line. It says trace, and we'll say e.keycode like before. Okay, and then plus space and double quotes. What do we want to do? We want to say up. Okay, so this will let us know when a certain key is up, if everything is done correctly. So if I press to the right, down, whatever, when I let go, you see that it comes up. And we're going to use this to structure everything a little bit differently. So instead of moving when we press down right away, we're just going to flip some variables around. So we're going to need 4 booleans, right? And we'll say var key left press. So these will all be booleans. I set them to false. So we need up, down, left, and right. So say, let me just copy all these. We need 4. So one will be left, one will be key up pressed, and then key right, left, up, right. Wow, that's a weird order. Let's say left, up, right. I guess it's not left, up, right, and down. Okay, and what we're going to do is that instead of in our key down listener, instead of moving our player when we get a certain event listener, we're going to set our key press to true or false. In this case, when it's down, we want to say true. So on left, we're going to say key left press equals true. On up, we're going to say key up press equals true. And I'm just selecting these by double clicking, pressing Control C to copy, Control V to paste. So right will be key right press equals true. And then for down, we want key down pressed equals true. And what this is going to do is it's going to set our keys to true when we press them. And now we need to know when we're no longer pressing them. So that's going to be handled by the up listener. When we get the key code for the left arrow after key left press was already true, then we're just going to set it equal to false. So we can just copy this whole line of code here from our key down listener and paste it in our key up listener. And just instead of saying true, we want to say false for all of these because they're no longer being pressed. All right. So once you have that, how are we going to do this? Well, oops, my bad. In our frame listener, when a certain Boolean is true, we'll move our player according to a certain speed. So instead of setting speed manually, let's set a variable so we can change it really easily if we want. So at the very top, say var speed. It'll be a number, and I'm going to set mine equal to 10 to start because why not? So save, make sure it's all saved, and as I'm dropping everything, we can go back down to our enter frame listener, and we can say if, let's say key left press equals true, then we want to move our player.x to the left by subtracting speed from x. Okay, so copy this and paste it another 3 times. Make sure it looks nice. Don't be lazy. So we want key left, then we want key right press. When he goes to the right, we'll move the x to the right by adding. Then we want key up press, so we're not moving the x anymore, we'll be moving the y, and we'll be subtracting speed to get it to go up. Remember, 0 is at the top. And key down press equals true. Then we are going to, did I already screw up? I did. It's MC player. I forgot about that again. But anyway, key down press player.y plus equals speed because it's the opposite of up. So my bad again. I am just terrible at doing this. It should be MC player.x and all that. So make sure it says MC player for all of these. And once you have that, that should pretty much be it. We should have a very simple, a little more verbose, if you want to call it that. Just a little more code, but this will work way better. It'll be a lot nicer. So if it runs, there you go. And if you play around with this, you can see it's a lot more responsive. So the next video will handle a slightly different type of movement with the keyboard, but it is the same concept. So that's all it is for this video. Make sure you have up and down listener. We're just flipping booleans around and moving by a certain speed. If you want to change the speed, all you got to do is change the speed variable at the top. So there you have it. I'll see you in the next video.